Welcome back to WSAV News 3 today at 11. Many of us know him as a respected community leader, a public servant, and a former Chatham County Commissioner. But James J. Jones now sits at the helm as Executive Director of Savannah's flagship Museum for African American Arts, History, and Cultural Preservation. He joins us now with more on his mission moving forward and how you can get involved in meaningful connections and practical collaborations. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
I appreciate y'all having me here. Thank you, Kim. Always a pleasure, always being able to sit and talk with you.
Well, first off, congratulations on your new appointment as the Executive Director. You're 7 months now into the job.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me a little bit about the Beach Institute, some of the history behind the museum, and what you're trying to do moving forward.
Well, it's a collaboration of an effort of making sure that former enslaved individuals here in Chatham County, Savannah, Georgia, had the opportunity to learn. And so the Beach Institute was the Beach Institute, and that was a place where former African-American slaves could actually get a formal education. 1867, the building was erected, and it became a place where at a high point in 1912, 600 people were were in that building being educated. Wow. As far as removing whatever stigma existed into being educated people in this community. So it's extremely important for us to cherish that history and cherish that moment.
Now, you were appointed during a pivotal moment as the foundation tries to strengthen its focus on strategic partnerships and expanding programming and also long-term sustainability.
Yes, ma'am. A lot of times we always understand us as the Beach Institute Museum, but we're the Beach Institute Educational and Cultural Center. And what that does, that expands past the museum where we see artwork and culture. And the one thing I prize ourselves is most of our exhibits inside the building are self-taught individuals. And so it gives a tribute to letting younger people understand that you don't have to wait for somebody to tell you, you don't have to wait for government incentives, you don't have to wait for anything. Self-taught meant they took the effort, they took the opportunity, jumped out there, did something to try to do something better. And all, for the most part, all our exhibits kind of give that attribute.
And one example of that in a big exhibit at the museum is Ulysses Davis and his collection. Recently, you were telling me a few weeks ago about an event that you held that brought his family members together, which turned out to be a tearful family reunion.
Man, it was excellent. We celebrated June 16th. We had celebrated the 30th anniversary of the Ulysses Davis being in that building, and it's a trademark. It's a trademark exhibit because that was one of the first exhibits we ever had in the Beach Institute. And so I had a conversation with our board chair Jerry Green, and I said, Jerry, man, I would love to see the Ulysses Davis family come in here. Yeah. And Jerry, well, she's a classmate of mine, so I'll get her in. And Jerry just worked out the magic, and here you have it, 4 generations was in the building, and it was a tearful, like you said, Brother Milton, Senior Milton Jr., all the sisters, everybody. It was about 40, 50 people in the building. And we had a Gullah Geechee meal to celebrate the reunion as far as that piece is concerned, with Ms. Ruby Montgomery.
And for people who don't know, he was a self-taught wood carver who was a barber, and his pieces not only sit in the Beach Institute, but also the Smithsonian.
Yes, ma'am. The Smithsonian and the High Museum in Atlanta, Georgia. Is over 200 pieces, wood carving, very smooth, I mean, if you understand, it's a tribute to the 90s, and it was a very good viewing to see the family come into play. I'm teared up right now just talking about it. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we're going to make you happy. Okay. We're going to talk about some things that you have in the works, and one is coming up this Friday.
Yeah, this Friday. So what we're going to do is every 4th Friday, not just this Friday, but the first one we're going to try it out. But every 4th Friday, we're going to have community talks. And basically what we want to do is we want to talk about the issues going on in the community, what kind of education we should be pushing out there, what kind of culture divide we should be pushing out there. We're in the Gullah Geechee corridor, and we should be talking about the Gullah Geechee dialect, the Gullah Geechee narrative. We should be talking about Gullah Geechee food, and we should be just talking about Gullah Geechee in a whole. And along with that, we should be an educational corridor. Helping kids get into college, helping kids get into technical field, helping kids become entrepreneurs is extremely important for us. So becoming an educational and cultural heritage type piece, and it's an acronym. My mother's an English teacher. Building educational and cultural history is what we want to focus at the beach.
All right, I love that. So speaking of students, you worked with SCAD recently, SCAD
Yes, ma'am.
Serve, and those students came in. Tell us about what they were doing and what they're still doing working along with you.
It was an amazing project. What SCAD Serve did was they came in there and they wanted to help us identify some things that we needed to work on. One thing was signage. And so basically, you know, we're getting into an age where everybody is photogenic and everybody is more directional as far as signage is concerned, not memorizing things. And so what they did was they brought in signage throughout the whole building. And along with that, we have QR codes. We have opportunities where people can see the Beach Institute, but when they leave, they can take a piece of beach with them because they can take that QR code with them and explore the options on our website.
Oh, I love it. Another thing that you have coming up is called Beach Speaks, and you're asking for speakers for this particular event that will happen in August, at the very end of August.
Yes, ma'am. August 29th, what we want to do is similar to what a TED Talk would be, and what we want to do is we want to cultivate speakers from our community. You know, everybody doesn't have the opportunity to be on the big stage, and so we want to give people an opportunity to be on the beach stage. And so we created what we call Beach Speaks, and Beach Speaks is actually going to parallel where we're going to identify 8 to 12 people per quarter, and we're going to bring in the topic that's dealing with the African American community, and we're going to ask them to explore on conversations that can actually help build bridges within our community.
Jay Jones, so much to talk about, so little time, but we will
Yes,
remind you that the Freedom Fighting Mixer is taking place, the first one is taking place this Friday from 4 until 6 p.m. at the Beach Institute African American Cultural Center. That's at 502 East Harris Street. For more information, call 912-228-2205. You must call in order to reserve your space because space is limited.
And they've been calling.
And they've been calling. That's on your
Yes,
that's on your phone. The next event, Beach Speaks, that we just talked about, you're calling for speakers. That's Saturday, August 29th. That's when the event will take place from 4 until 6 p.m. at the Beach Institute African American Cultural Center. Again, that's on Harris Street. Early bird tickets are available for $60. For more information on how you can get involved, call 912-335-8868. Jay, always a pleasure talking to you.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, sis,
You have
for
to
having
come
me.
back and bring
Yes, ma'am.
Johannes with you.
Y'all know y'all want to see Johannes, so make sure Johannes is here. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.